Hey, what's up guys? My name is Destery and welcome back to WTF5. So much like the rest of Shane's videos this week, today we'll be talking about the top 5 most haunted hotels in the world.
Wait, what is that?
I don't know.
Oh, that is so weird.
You guys, put the pictures on developing.
Oh my god, shut up.
Oh my god, it says murder up there.
There's like, yeah, little children's laugh. That is weird.
If you really think about it, hotels are the perfect place for ghosts. Hundreds of thousands of people attend hotels every single year, so you gotta think that some of the people that go to them never end up leaving and stay there haunting the hotel where they died. And while I myself have never really had a scary paranormal experience, stories like the one that Shane told happen a lot more than you'd think. From hotels built centuries ago to modern ones with just an extremely violent history.
Like Lisa Lamb from Vancouver, Canada. Her body found in one of the hotel's 4 water towers.
So number 1, the Hotel Cecil. So you might remember the video I made a while ago talking about the unsolved death of Elisa Lam, as well as the video that Shane made about it. But that was just one of the terrible things that happened in a long list of events that happened in the Hotel Cecil, which I have to say is the least scary sounding hotel name I've ever heard. The Hotel Cecil. There's just no way to make it sound scary. But the death of Elisa Lam, if you don't know, was a highly publicized and mysterious unsolved death of a Canadian student who was found dead in the water tank of the Hotel Cecil. Sorry. With little to no explanation as to how she got in there or why. And the creepiest part being that she was caught on camera moments before her death on an elevator, seemingly losing her mind and hiding from something that we never actually see. And as if that wasn't scary enough, the hotel has a long and violent history of just disturbing events dating back to 1931, where a man named W.K. Norton ingested poison capsules in his room. Oddly enough, over the course of the next decade after that death, there were 7 more documented suicides within the hotel, from a man shooting himself in the face with a shotgun, a man slashing his own throat with a razor, a woman throwing herself out of a window on the 9th floor, a year later a man jumping from the roof to his death, and then 3 different people taking their own life by ingesting poison, all within the walls of the Hotel Cecil. Last time, I swear. Okay, where the f are people getting poison capsules? Could you just go to a store back then and be like, yes, I will have 5 poison capsules, please? Thanks. I guess it's not totally unheard of because you could still go into stores nowadays and ask for cigarettes, and that's basically the same thing. Oh, gotcha. Don't smoke, kids. This message was brought to you by the No Smoking campaign. Try not smoking today. Serious. But like I mentioned, that was just all over the stretch of just 10 years. And since then, the number of odd suicides and violent deaths have only gotten worse. Not only being the site of dozens of suicides and just weird deaths, the Hotel Cecil was also home to the serial killers Richard Ramirez and Jack Unterweger.
But as downtown LA descended into crime in the 80s, so did the guests. Like serial killer Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, who killed 13 people as he lived on the 14th floor. And serial killer Jack Unterweger, who preyed on prostitutes, some just blocks away from the Cecil.
Can you imagine just being in a hotel and seeing a dude wanted for mass murder just walk around, sit down next to you, have a continental breakfast, gets in the hot tub next to you like, hey, what's up? Don't hurt me! And because of all the death and just strange occurrences that happened at the hotel, it's actually the main inspiration behind the TV show American Horror Story Hotel. And because of the just massive popularity of the show, a lot of the fandom of American Horror Story has made a conscious choice to stay at this hotel, probably in the hopes that they can relive some of their favorite scenes from the show without, you know, the terrible death and destruction. Also, because of all the negative publicity that the hotel's gotten over the years, new management has decided to rename and rebrand the hotel to the Stay on Main, which again is not terrifying. The Stay on Main! Which I guess I get, because I don't think normal people want to stay in a hotel where several people have jumped to their death on it. And people have literally drank the rotting flesh of a woman who was found dead in a water tank above the hotel. Come stay at the Stay on Main! Hey, wait a second. Isn't this the Hotel Cecil? Nope, definitely not. You're thinking of another place that's 100% not here. But there's still signs that say the Hotel Cecil right there. You're mistaken. We're definitely the Stay on Main. There's absolutely no death here. The Stay on Main, now with 100% no death. Still rated #1 on TripAdvisor's Fleshiest Water Award. My god, this water is fleshy! Number 2, the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. Located in Alberta, Canada, the Banff Springs Hotel is not only one of the most scenically beautiful hotels in all of Canada, but is also the most haunted hotel in all of Canada. Which I don't really know if that's saying that much, because I don't imagine a Canadian ghost being really that scary. They're probably really nice, actually. Hello, do you mind if I haunt you? I do, actually, yes. Oh, okay, I'll come back later. But after a massive fire that broke out in 1923, the original wooden Banff Springs Hotel was completely burnt down to the ground and rebuilt just a few years later out of stone, which I feel like they should have just done that in the first place. Little known fact for you guys, stone is not nearly flammable as wood. Yeah, you know, you're welcome. I'm just real smart, so. You know why it was burnt down though? Because somebody smoked.
Seriously, don't smoke!
But a few guests in the original hotel claim to have heard voices and odd noises coming from within walls of certain rooms. And when the hotel burnt down, it was discovered that there was a secret room built that had no windows or doors, so there was no way to get inside of it. But somehow guests still heard noises coming from it despite having no idea that there was a secret room at all. Which, why would there be a secret room in a hotel? What possible reason would there be? What were the sounds coming from inside of it? For my own sanity, I'm just gonna pretend it was like an orgy room. People would just somehow go in there and spew bodily liquids on each other. Because as gross as that is, my brain can just not handle what else it could have been. Another haunting story from the Fairmont is that of a young bride who was emerging from her room with her wedding dress on, and while descending down the main lobby stairs, fell and died instantly on impact. And according to many guests, they witnessed a woman in a wedding dress descending down the same stairs and then disappearing into nothing. Also, a former bellman named Sam McCauley has been seen haunting the upper floors of the hotel, with a few people even seeing him as a completely real person, and even talking with him before he instantly disappeared. And the most haunted of all the rooms in the Banff Springs is room 873, as this was the room where a small family was mysteriously murdered. When the police investigation around the murders was finally concluded and the room was cleaned up, fingerprints belonging to the youngest victim of the family were left on the mirror inside the room. However, despite the hotel staff doing everything they could to remove the fingerprints, they never seemed to come off the mirror. So I guess they just didn't have Windex, or I'm having a hard time believing this one. So the hotel staff decided to close the room off, not let guests in there, but staff who check on the room claim to see the family roaming around from time to time, and many guests claim to see them roaming nearby the room that they were murdered in. Number 3, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. So this is another hotel that Shane not only mentioned in a previous video, but actually went to and stayed in the hotel, all the while knowing its dark and sinister history. So the Roosevelt Hotel was a 12-story, 300-room hotel known all across the world as one of the best places celebrities could stay in Hollywood. Being literally right across the street from the Hollywood Walk of Fame and the Chinese Theater, the Roosevelt was one of the best hotels for celebrities, actors, and musicians to stay at. Some of their most famous guests included Shirley Temple, Clark Gable, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and most notably Marilyn Monroe, who is said to still be haunting the hotel to this day in her old room 1200, where guests have claimed to see her face staring at them in the mirror within the room. That doesn't actually sound that bad though. Like, if I saw Marilyn Monroe's ghost staring at me, I would probably just stare right back. Because that girl is what the cool kids call thick, with 4 C's and no K. As far as I know, being thick is good, but you don't want to be thick, like with a K. What even is the English language? But the most malevolent spirit said to be inside the hotel is that of the actor Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift was an actor best known in the 1940s and 50s, who would often stay at the Roosevelt Hotel in room 928. And like Marilyn Monroe, though Clift didn't die in the hotel, it's not crazy to imagine that as a ghost they might return to a place that they loved and visited so much, in a place that essentially made them who they were in a sense. And what's interesting is that Clift wasn't an angry guy when he was alive, yet so many guests claim to have similar experiences in his room of the hotel. A feeling of uncomforting cold, an angry presence when you're trying to sleep. Some even saying they woke up in the middle of the night to a weight on top of them. And most commonly, seeing Montgomery's apparitions staring at them from across the room until they're forced to leave or go to sleep somehow. Yeah, nope. I will say though, with Montgomery's ghosts and Marilyn Monroe's ghosts, it seems like they're both just chilling, you know? Like, they don't want to possess anyone, they don't want to harm anyone. It seems like they just want to know what it is to live again, so all they can really do is observe from the afterlife. Which is still creepy and unnerving, but I think I'd rather a ghost stare at me than a ghost try to like possess me or hurt me or try to kill me. Number 4, the Langham Hotel. So unlike the others on this list, the Langham Hotel was built outside of America in London, England, and was the largest and most modern hotel for its era. And like the Roosevelt Hotel, the Langham was known pretty much everywhere as one of the best and most elegant places to go if you were a celebrity during the early 1900s. And also like the Roosevelt, considered one of the most haunted places in all of England. Since its creation in 1863, the hotel opened its doors to the likes of Mark Twain, poet Oscar Wilde, Napoleon III, and was even written about in one of Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes books. And while the hotel struggled to stay afloat during the Great Depression, it was able to prosper afterwards by being used temporarily as accommodation for British soldiers during World War II. Sort of like the Grand Budapest Hotel, if you've ever seen that movie. Amazing movie if you haven't seen it. Very thick. Oh, that's not the correct way to use that word. Oh, my bad. I apparently don't know how to be cool. I'm working on it though. I'm getting a shirt next week that says Supreme across the chest, so I think, you know, I'm trying. I've also been practicing dabbing on my haters, so, you know, leave in the comments down below if you think I'm cool. Okay. Yet again, can't wait for an entire comment section that just says no. Just no. But a long history of success and reputation doesn't always mean it's that bright and happy right under the surface. The ghost of Napoleon III has been seen roaming around in the basement. A man in military dress has been seen standing next to the window on the 4th floor, which has been told to be a German prince who jumped from the same window before World War I. A ghost has been seen roaming the halls with a gaping wound in his face. A doctor who murdered his wife and then killed himself has been seen. And within room 333, guests have had their sheets pulled off them in the middle of the night, and sometimes the person being pulled off the bed entirely in the middle of the night. And like the Hotel Cecil, new management tried to renovate the place and wash away all the terrible things that have happened within its walls, but guests still complain about creepy occurrences to this day. And finally, number 5, the Stanley Hotel. So this one might seem familiar for a few different reasons, as it was the main inspiration behind the Stephen King novel The Shining.
Here's Johnny!
And is the same hotel that Shane was staying in earlier this week as he explored the Stanley Hotel. But one of the things that makes the Stanley Hotel so f***ing creepy is that it's made a believer out of skeptics and people who never would have believed in ghosts had they not entered its hallowed halls. The air in the Stanley Hotel feels thin and different. Sounds are amplified, yet silent moments feel like they engulf you. Even when Stephen King, a legendary horror author behind It, stayed in the hotel, he had nightmares so terrifying he wrote The Shining the next day based on them. People have heard piano keys in the middle of the night, laughter coming from nowhere but somehow all around them, people's clothes and items being randomly misplaced or moved around the room when they aren't looking. And as we saw in Shane's video, just a lot of really weird unexplained events, like his camera going out of focus, weird figures appearing on the walls, and the bathroom door closing without anyone touching it. So with all that, I have to say, Shane just has way bigger balls than I do, which is a weird thing to say, but you know what I mean. Like, I refuse to go in that place. You couldn't f***ing pay me enough money to stay in that place. Anyways, guys, that is it for this episode of WTF5. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a like and also subscribe to this channel, as I'll try to be doing more spooky videos like this all the time. On a lighter note, if you'd like to see a new video on my channel where I took a quiz seeing how gay I am, you can click that right here, or you can check it out in the description down below. To be honest, I don't think anyone was surprised by the result, including my own mother. Did you think it was gonna be higher?
No.
No? Oh, that's surprising. I just thought, you know, because I used to put your wigs on me and dress up like a woman, you would think it was higher.
Well, just because I, dress up like a man doesn't mean that I am a pussy licker.
That's true. That's it, guys. I will see you next time for another WTF5. Thanks for watching, and fair winds.